Welcome back, everybody. We are back for another episode at the Bettor's Edge. What a night we had yesterday for those of you that followed and tailed. Let's start with the Steelers at the Bengals. The play of the day for that Thursday night football game, as I told you guys, Darnell Washington under 22.5 receiving yards. He finishes the game with 3 receptions and 2 yards. I told you guys, I've been following this player for the last couple of seasons because I was a huge fan of his coming into the NFL draft. This player is a blocking tight end that now 2.5 years into his career is slowly but surely trying to be utilized more in the passing game. And you saw the Steelers try to get him involved a little bit yesterday. He finishes the game with 3 receptions for 2 yards. He had 1 reception for minus 8 yards. This was never a doubt. This bet was absolutely positively never a doubt. Like I tell you guys each and every single day, follow my best bets, guys. They are winners every single day. I think my best bets this week are undefeated. I don't think I've lost the best bet since Friday of last week. So as I talk to you guys about each and every single day, it's my job to give you guys winners, and that's what I'm here to do. In addition to that, yesterday I talked to you guys about the over 44 and a half, whatever that number was, in the same Steelers-Bengals game. That total flew over the number. That wasn't even close. I think it finished at 61 points last night. The Steelers, as I talked about yesterday, put up 23 points against a far better Browns defensive unit. They posted 30 yesterday. The Bengals, we saw it last week with Joe Flacco against the Green Bay Packers, which is why I was confident in this pick. They looked far better offensively against the Packers last week than they have all season. And obviously, as I mentioned in the show yesterday as well, there's nobody that can slow down Jamar Chase for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It doesn't take a genius to know that. He posted 16 receptions, 160, 170 yards, whatever it was. He went off last night. The over in the game hit easily. Darnell Washington under in his receptions also hit easily. And Aline, which I tell you guys not to play of mine because they're about 50%, also hit. I gave you the Bengals plus the points yesterday. That also was a winner. The play of the day in all sports, as I talked about yesterday on the show, was the over in Seattle last night, Toronto Blue Jays, Seattle Mariners. That is a game that also ended up flying over the total and was an easy winner. Guys, I'm out here each and every single day giving you guys easy winners, play of the days, each and every single day, and they're undefeated over the course of the last week. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I talk to you guys about it each and every single day. I'm trying to get these videos out to new eyeballs, new viewers, new subscribers. It's our jobs each and every single day to beat the bookies, and I want to do this as a collective unit. The more people that follow, the more people that subscribe, the more winners we have in collective as a collection unit. With that said, guys, let's talk about today's card. It's a very limited card. I'm only going to talk about the 2 baseball games, and really only one of them has any interest to me. Before I get started on the Dodgers, I want to talk about my series pick there, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about the Toronto Blue Jays at the Seattle Mariners tonight. Toronto Blue Jays yesterday evened up the series at 2-2. Another shellacking they gave Seattle in Seattle last night. We have Kevin Gausman on the mound, who's the Toronto Blue Jays ace, against Bryce Miller, who's probably the 4th or 5th best pitcher that the Seattle Mariners have in their pitching staff. This game is basically a pick 'em right now. Depending on where you look, you might see a small favorite on one side or the other, but it's basically a pick 'em. This total opened at 7.5, and it's now down to 7. I talk to you guys about these games every single time we have a situation that arises. This is going to be played like a Game 7. Both managers know the importance of this game. You have Kevin Gausman on the mound, who's the ace for the Toronto Blue Jays. And as I mentioned, you have Bryce Miller, who isn't a great pitcher but has pitched well in the postseason on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. Let's talk about Seattle's side first. You're not going to see Bryce Miller have a very long leash. If he gives the Mariners a performance like he gave in Game 1 of the series, he'll go 4 or 5 innings. If he runs into trouble early, I assure you he's going to be pulled early, and the Seattle Mariners are going to go to their ace, who is now available and healthy, Brian Wu. Because of the dynamics of this game, because of the pitchers that are available for both teams, it's Gausman on one side. I don't love Bryce Miller on the other side, but I absolutely love Bryan Woo. And I think we're going to see at least 3, maybe 4 innings out of Bryan Woo today, depending on the dynamics of the actual game. If you see Miller go a little bit longer, you might see a little bit shorter of a stint for Bryan Woo. If you see Miller go a little bit shorter, and assuming Bryan Woo is pitching well, you might see him go a little bit longer. The Mariners used, I think, 8 pitchers last night. And their manager is saying that the bullpen is still healthy. They can be relied upon as normal use. They're not taxed, if you will. But I think you're looking at, in a perfect scenario, which doesn't always play out this way, 3 or 4 pitchers from the Seattle Mariners side being used tonight trying to win this game. Miller, Woo, you might see a relief pitcher in between, and then Munoz to close the game. Probably Spire, but he's been used 2 days in a row, so we'll see if he's available. On the Blue Jays side, you're getting the Blue Jays' best pitcher and Kevin Gausman. He's going to give you a good 5 innings or so, maybe 6. This Seattle Mariners lineup, as we've seen over the course of the last 2 days at home, has not been performing. I'm expecting the manager of the Mariners to make some changes to that lineup, but they're not batting. This total right now is at 7, and it's difficult for me to suggest for you guys to take the under 7, but this game is going to go under. I would tap the brakes, hold off on taking anything in this game. It looks like this total is trending up. You might be able to get it at 7.5, minus 115, minus 110, closer to first pitch. And if you can get 7.5, that's a bet that I like a lot, that I would recommend somebody to take. But right now, to get 7.5 costs minus 140. So as I'm making this video, it's not an official play. I haven't bet it just yet. But if we can get 7.5 for minus 115 or less come first pitch, that would be an official play. So follow me on X, as I talk to you guys about each and every single day, at Bettor's Edge TV. If I make an official play on this game on the under, you guys will see it there. If this line dips if it rises to 7.5 and the juice dips to minus 115 or better, that will be an official bet. If it doesn't, I'm not taking it at minus 120 or above. Let's talk about the side here. I talked about the dynamics of this game. I know I've been leaning on the Mariners each of the last 2 days, and those have been losers. Those were not official plays. Those were just losers. I have another lean on the Mariners for today. Because of the dynamics of Bryan Woo playing in this game, I foresee him coming in somewhere around the 3rd or 4th inning and giving us 3 or 4 solid innings of probably scoreless baseball. I foresee the Seattle Mariners winning a very low-scoring affair today and exiting this series, exiting Seattle, if you will, with a series lead of 3-2 going back to Toronto. Right now, this game is a pick'em. As I said, depending on what sports book you go to check the line, it's going to be minus 115, minus 110, somewhere in that neighborhood for either side. I have a lean, as I just mentioned, on the Seattle Mariners to win this game. It's only a lean. It's not my favorite play. It's not as strong of a lean as the under. The bet of the day, if we can get it, which we don't have it available right now, is under 7.5, minus 115 or better. That is the best bet, which if we can find, we will take for today. Let's move on to the second series, the second game for today. As I mentioned, it's a slower card. There's only 2 baseball games, and there are some college football games that I won't be discussing for today because I don't have any official bets on those either. The Los Angeles Dodgers won again yesterday. They're now 3-0 in this series. We got the Dodgers, as I talk to you guys about each and every single day, at minus 200. This is a 3-0 series lead that is a series that's going to be over, whether it's today or tomorrow, will be over by this weekend. I can't talk enough about the type of value that we got on the Los Angeles Dodgers. To get this series at minus 200 was a hell of a bet, and it's the reason why I jammed it for over 3 units. I'll post that ticket when we win it. With that said, guys, for today's game, there's not a ton of value here. I talked about it yesterday. True price in this type of scenario is Dodgers anywhere between minus 175 and minus 190, maybe a little bit ticking up towards minus 200. We have Shohei Ohtani on the mound. This line is sitting right there at minus 190. There's not a lot of value in taking the Dodgers tonight. The Brewers are playing terrible baseball. I'd be shocked if Chourio is playing today, who's their leadoff batter. He pulled his hamstring yesterday. I'd be absolutely shocked if he's fit and available to play today. So that's another knock on their lineup. There's been 3 games in this series. The Brewers have scored three runs. Ohtani's on the mound today. They're probably not going to score many runs off of him. However, when you're taking the Dodgers at minus 190 against a team that has their backs against the wall, there's just not a ton of value in that bet either. I would stay away from this game like I told you guys to stay away from yesterday's game. I'm content with my series ticket at minus 200 that hopefully we cash today, and I'll post that ticket tomorrow, whether it's on X or here on YouTube. But as I talk to you guys about each and every single day, stay away from games where there are no value. And this Dodgers game really doesn't have any value on either side, whether it's the Brewers or whether it's the Dodgers. From a value perspective, it's really a toss-up. The game's not a toss-up. I'm not saying that. But from a value perspective, it's essentially a toss-up on which side has more value. There's not really a ton of value on either side. We're going to do a little bit of a parlay. We barely missed the parlay yesterday. We're going to do a 3-leg parlay for today. We're going to take the Mariners on the money line. We're going to take the under 7.5, if we can get that, obviously. And we're going to do the over Shohei Ohtani outs. No, excuse me. Rewind that. We're going to take the under on Shohei Ohtani's 15.5 outs. I think you're going to see Ohtani get pulled out of this game a little bit earlier than people are expecting. It's at 15.5 outs for him. Obviously, that's a little bit more than 5 innings. I would expect for him to go somewhere in that neighborhood. But I do think we see some kind of resurgence from the Brewers tonight. They're going to maybe put up a couple of runs on the board late. They're probably not going to get shut out like they have been the last couple of days. They got their backs against the wall. You're probably going to see a little bit of a performance from them. And I think you see Shohei Ohtani exit this game somewhere around the 5th inning. And I think he's going to go under that 15.5 outs. Thank you guys for watching the video. We've been absolutely smashing the best bets all week, guys. I hope you guys are following. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'll be back tomorrow with a massive college football card with tons of winners.